Do any of you just sometimes get the bug, the cleaning bug, the desire to pick up everything around you because you just can't quite operate in the space you're in anymore, or you realize you've been avoiding an environment for a time period? Well, that's what I have right now. And I'm going to be honest, we have potentially too many board games. You see, as I've cleaned the studio and cycled through projects, got the living room set up so that we have all of our games in our permanent collection up there, this space down here has slowly sort of just transformed into a hybrid storage zone with piles and piles of board games that we've done coverage for, we need to do coverage for, prototypes we just don't need anymore, literally that entire shelf. And so today, what you're watching is me doing my very best to just go through this process. I need to get my shelves organized, I need to get my gaming table back to a point where it's functioning and we can play games down here, and I need to just clear some headspace, because when this exists, I find that it occupies a corner of my mind that keeps me from being productive, keeps me from being healthy, and keeps me from, well, continuing to enjoy what I'm doing. So that's the plan. And I'm going to talk you through this as we go, about the experience of owning too many games, about content creation, and just how I'm trying to clean and organize and what my methodology is. Ultimately, that's the video, right? That's it. We've introduced you to this space before, and now let's spend a little bit of time getting it back up and running. So question number one, why in the world do we have so many board games? Well, that's a complicated answer, and it's kind of threefold, if I have to be honest about it. First is that I'm a content creator in this hobby. We get sent a lot of product, prototype, things we need to cover, things we would love to cover. And even when we go to conventions and stuff, we bring home like 20 or 30 games that are on our roster that we're slowly playing through. I mean, I'd say a whole Calyx shelf here is stuff that we intend to cover at some point down the road. But that's not the only reason. The other reason that I have to take ownership for is just the fact that I'm also a board gamer, a hobbyist. And honestly, my collection, while substantial, probably pales in comparison to some of yours, those of you that aren't even content creators. Because this hobby has a way of pulling you in. You want to play everything that's new and shiny, and I think a lot of us that are into board games are into the physicality, the tangibleness, the collector's nature of these things. We get into living card games and miniatures and other type of hobbies that have the same degree of itemized, personified reward. And board games is no exception. And so we seek, we collect new friends, hobbies, experiences, all the things that board games promise us, until we hit a point where we realize now we just have a lot of games, and we don't necessarily have all the other stuff that we thought were going to come along with them. And the third element has to be our beloved Kickstarter, the thing that spurs this hobby, the fire beneath the individuals who fall in love with it. I mean, I need to stop backing Kickstarters. I do. But I not only don't want to, I not only think I need to for my career, but I also have that bug. What if I miss out on something amazing? What if the projects that are coming are the best games ever? They could be in my top 10 of all time. I definitely need to play those, right? But how do I narrow it down? How do I not miss things? And the answer for a long time has just been back everything good, back everything compelling, back everything interesting, until you freak out about how much stuff you have, sell off a bunch of stuff if you can, and then desperately stop backing things for another period of 3 to 6 months. And then the cycle starts again. I haven't found a good solution to that, but organizing, cleaning, and getting a roster of everything that's currently in my collection is certainly a good place to start. So position number one for me is this little shelf. I actually started by dumping everything off of it into this chair and over here onto the side, but I kind of like taking groups of things. I'll go a shelf at a time, maybe organizing this whole display with Quackalope merchandise in a second, but like I said, I want to get my bookshelf functional, have it organized. For the longest time, it's just been a scattering of books in different orientations with different subject matters, and now I want to narrow it down. RPGs and you know, books that I need to sit down and read. I don't know, nonsense like that. But that's start one. That's position one. So it's about 2 hours later, and I have almost nothing else done. Does anyone else get started on a project and then get overwhelmed, exhausted, go binge watch YouTube, play a little bit of VR until you can talk yourself into coming back down and trying again? That's where I am. It's about 3 a.m. and, well, we're still trying, just not as successfully. Some progress has been made. The table is clean. Right now, I've mostly focused on getting stuff off of the table and onto shelves. And I have 34 prototypes stacked up at the stair that I'm going to need to get rid of. I'm probably going to make a list of these. I might offer a few of them to other content creators, but a lot of them are from a year or two ago. And honestly, publishers don't need them or want them, haven't asked me to send them on. And they don't want other people covering them because they're outdated versions of the games that were at that point on crowdfunding sites. And I've held on to them just because I don't like getting rid of things. But now, I think I really need to for the sake of my calyxes. Alright, if you're still tuning in and watching this vlog, you should know that the time frame now is different from the video footage that you just saw. In fact, the week that I was filming, I actually posted this as the vlog. Welcome to Quackalope. If you're clicking on this video, I can wrap it up short and sweet for you. There's no vlog today. There's no shelf or sell today. This is the daily video. This is the one. For the first time in, I guess it's been 8 months, maybe 9 months, we don't have a vlog prepared. I do have a vlog. So, this video was the one that you should have seen. I go on to say that I was actually just interrupted myself. That we could post. We have our Atlanta trip vlog. We have a vlog of me cleaning out the basement that I did last night because we had way too many board games piled up there and they were stressing me out. So, if you want context on this story, that's me. And this is me at a different time period. And life has still thrown curveballs at us, and I have made some substantial progress down in the basement while still having a long way to go, and I'm going to walk you through all of that. But cleaning is one of those things that I try to do when I need to reset, and that was what I was trying to do in that video. You see, your space dictates so much about you, about your emotional and mental and physical well-being, and when things get overwhelming and I feel bogged down or depressed or burnt out, one of the things I try to do is I try to clean. I try to get prepared. I try to reset, right, by using a little bit of brunt force. And it also means I struggle sometimes to get that done. And that night, I finished a decent amount of the basement. We had people coming over. We needed to continue, moving forward. And I got everything up onto the shelves. And that was 2 weeks ago. And then since then, everything's kind of turned upside down. And stuff has been good, and stuff has also been bad. And we haven't finished redefining the shelves, but let me show you what we have done and why this has been quite a journey for us. So first off, I got a computer set up over here in the corner next to the Kingdom Death prints that Shira hung for me. I never organized this backdrop here yet. We'll get there eventually. The bookshelf is all completely organized and actually has a lot of RPG content on it, and I need to process and work through that. These shelves, remember how I was telling you I had something like 35? It actually turned out to be 42 prototypes that had to go. They were over, 6 months to a year old, and we just need to create a policy that we just won't hold on to prototypes beyond something like 6 months. It's just too much. They never get off the shelf again. I'll steal miniatures from them to paint on another channel eventually. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff that we had from ages of content creation here on the channel. And then on top of that, I'm trying to fix my tripod while talking to you, which is not necessarily the best way to go about that. On top of that, I didn't actually get my shelves super organized, but I did get everything off of this central table and onto the shelves. And why did I do that? Well, because we've been working, mostly Shira, has been working on a puzzle. That was the second vlog you saw last weekend, and she's made a lot of progress. I also got a permanent spot set up for one of our crokinole boards. We waxed it down. It is working out incredibly. And I have a box or a wall of boxes that I just honestly don't quite know what to do with yet. All of that stuff there is going to be things like an extra copy of Kingdom Death, Solomon Kane Wave 2, a full pledge of Tainted Grail, a box of Zombicide. And I need to open it or cover it, but yeah, some of it we have duplicates of. Some of it, like my Kingdom Death copy, is a reserve copy because I'm obsessive like that. But stuff is coming along well. We still have too many board games. We still don't know quite what to do with all of them. But let me tell you about or show you what else has been going on. Because the very next week, everything kind of blew up. We had what I would only describe as a catastrophic plumbing failure down here in the basement. And I'll flick on a light so you can see a catastrophic plumbing failure down here in the basement that resulted in all of this being broken up and drilled out and brand new piping being laid through the middle of our basement. And everything right now is like bogged up. Like this used to be a nice workout zone. We have our washer and dryer. This is like the unrefined attic part of our house. But yeah, so all of this got completely destroyed, which means over the last day or two, Sheer and I have been cleaning and trying to get this swept up and trying to we got a giant shop vac here. You can see, like, it even goes all the way back there. We had plumbers here for like 4 days trying to solve that problem. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sharing that with you. I'm just trying to catch you up. I'm trying to wrap up the video. What's the moral lesson of this video? Sometimes you're burnout and you need a break, but you also need to keep going. I think that's what I was trying to say. There, a little bit garbled, a little bit, in the weird conversational way that I do sometimes, trying to think through and process and tell a story. But if you find that stuff in your life is becoming chaotic or building up, it means there's other things in your life that you should be paying attention to. If you find you're surrounded by dirt and trash or boxes in board games or disorganization, it's okay from time to time. Life gets crazy and messy. We had a catastrophic plumbing failure that resulted in everything being a mess. And we're going to take some time to clean that up. But when this vlog started, we had piles and piles of games all over the place. And it was because we were cleaning and moving and shifting things around. But it was also because we hadn't kept up with it as well as we should have. And I was reaching a point of burnout. Right? That's what the next video that I put up that weekend was. I was tired and exhausted. And when you're in that state, one of the best things you can do is you can pause and reset by picking up, by cleaning, by paying attention to the parts of your life that you're letting slip when you're feeling like that. And so that's what I was trying to do. And I'm doing well. Still a little tired from time to time. Still need some Red Bull to keep going. But much better than I was 2 weeks ago. And part of that's because I've cleaned a lot. Like, I cleaned the studio again, and I re-cleaned the basement again, and we got the kitchen and the living room, and we've just been working very hard at work, and at productivity, and at scheduling, and then also working very hard at keeping life picked up and together. And it doesn't mean everything is pinpoint, exactly where it has to be. Like, I exist in a state of some degree of chaos. I like mess. I'm like a puzzle that's still not fully put together. But there is a point where it's too much and it infects your mental space. It's one of those things. Everything has consequences. Everything has pinpoints or examples. And one of the ways you can tell someone is struggling with something is the way they live their life. What do they surround themselves with? And what by the nature of that, does that reveal in their priorities, in their time, in their stress levels, because it all tells some degree of a story. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Sorry that this is a weird ending to a story that started a while ago. I'm glad I was able to wrap it up, and yeah, I'm looking forward to continue going on this journey with you all. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.